All right, if you're in sales, you absolutely know the high of closing a big deal. But what about the gut-wrenching low of trying to collect the payment? Today, we're jumping right into a real-world survival guide for every single person on the front lines, and this is all based on some hard-won lessons from the field.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the problem. Getting that signature feels like the finish line, but really, it's just the start. The real fight, and where all the risk is what happens next. So this whole explainer is about making sure that tomorrow doesn't become a disaster for you and your company.
So to really get a handle on the solution, you've got to understand the problem first. And for so many salespeople, the problem is this huge and, let's be honest, often totally unrealistic weight that gets dropped right on their shoulders.
I mean, just look at this list. This is the reality, especially in the fast-moving consumer goods space. You're not just selling. You're expected to be the debt collector, the marketing department, the person stocking the shelves, the market developer. I mean, you're basically a one-person army. And you're usually doing it with very little backup, crazy high targets, and your own commission hanging in the balance.
But here's the thing. You're not helpless. The whole key is to stop being reactive and start being proactive. So let's build out the essential toolkit you need to protect yourself before a problem even has a chance to start.
Your first and best line of defense is actually pretty simple. Document everything. Seriously, think of it like you're building an ironclad case. A supervisor's approval in an email protects you if someone says you gave credit you shouldn't have. A signed invoice is proof they got the goods. Screenshots of WhatsApp chats, that proves they promised to pay. Without this trail, it's just your word against theirs. And trust me, that is a fight you do not want to have.
Okay, before you even whisper the word credit, you have to know your customer. This isn't just a friendly suggestion, it is non-negotiable. And this slide shows you exactly what that means. You need way more than just a name. You need contacts for their accounts department, a copy of the owner's ID, their trading license, and for bigger credit lines, a security check. Doing this homework up front is your best shield against future headaches.
All right, you've got your toolkit ready. Now it's time to go on the offensive by learning how to spot trouble a mile away. Let's walk through a little field guide I like to call the gallery of defaulters. These are the common client types that should have red flags popping up all over the place.
First on our list is the manipulator. You know this person. They're the ones who try to make you feel guilty for doing your job. They'll use your good relationship against you, making it seem like you're being unreasonable. The source material on this is crystal clear. You never, ever bend the rules for them. The second they start playing the victim, alarm bells need to be ringing loud and clear.
Ah, a true classic. This client's entire game is to get you out the door with a vague promise so they can get back to their day. It's probably the most common stall tactic in the book. And as the source for this explainer noted from some painful real-life experience, a year later, the money still hasn't been sent. A promise to pay is not a payment.
Now, this one is sneaky because it plays on the trust you've built. The mobile stockist will make a bunch of small, reliable cash purchases. They're great until they're not. The second they ask for credit, the answer has to be a firm no. Why? Simple. With no physical store, they're basically a ghost. If they decide to disappear, good luck finding them. They are, by their very nature, a huge risk.
The advice here couldn't be simpler. Run away. A consignment deal shifts 100% of the financial risk from them to you. You're basically giving them an unlimited, interest-free loan using your own inventory. It is an absolute nightmare for collections, and you'll waste countless hours just chasing them down.
Ooh, be so careful with this one. A check from a customer you just met is a massive leap of faith. The risk that it'll bounce is just way too high before you've built up a history with them through cash or instant transfers. If you absolutely have to take one, you better have a written policy with some serious penalties for bounce checks.
This can look like a fantastic sale on paper, but you have to watch out for the hidden costs. The stock you get back is often a mess. We're talking about chilled drinks that have been sitting out and can't go back in the fridge, or bottles with labels that are torn and wet. No other customer is going to buy that stuff. You've got to factor in that potential loss before you ever say yes. Okay, this is probably the most sophisticated and frankly dangerous client on our list. They operate by racking up a ton of debt with suppliers under one company name. Then they just dissolve that company, declare bankruptcy, and pop right back up under a new name with the exact same people in charge. It's a deliberate scheme to leave you with nothing. It takes some serious homework to spot this one. So we've gone through the threats, we've built our personal toolkit, but the single most powerful weapon in this whole fight
isn't something you do alone. It's organizational. It's having a clear, formal, no-nonsense company credit policy that protects everybody.
And this table is a perfect example of what that should look like. It's not some 20-page legal document. It's simple. It's a clear table of consequences. There's zero ambiguity. The client knows exactly what's expected. After 1 week, penalties kick in. This completely removes you from the equation. It's no longer personal. You're not the bad guy asking for money. The company is just enforcing its own stated policy.
Now, let's just zero in on this number for a second. An extra 10% penalty. That's not just a little slap on the wrist. That's a serious figure. It's designed to make the consequences of not paying you feel real and painful. It's a powerful way to show you're serious about your terms, and it shifts the cost of their bad planning back onto them, which is right where it belongs.
We have covered a ton of ground here, right? From spotting the different types of problem clients to building up our own defenses. So let's bring it all home and boil everything down into a core survival strategy.
At the end of the day, your survival really comes down to one big idea. Be proactive, not reactive. Be disciplined with your paperwork. Be diligent with your customer research. Be vigilant and learn to spot all those warning signs we talked about. And most important of all, be protected by a clear company policy that has your back. That is how you turn the horror of debt collection into just another part of the job.
And that really leaves us with one final and I think crucial question to think about. I want you to take a good, hard look at how you and your company actually handle credit. Are your processes an asset, a well-oiled machine that protects you? Or are they a liability, leaving you and your commission totally exposed? The answer to that could make all the difference.